That's actually mental. Welcome to part 3 of my quest to take on the hour record and see if I can beat the legendary Eddie Merckx and his distance of 49.431 kilometres. This is going to be the hardest physical challenge I've ever undertaken. And no matter what you're training for, in order to improve, get fitter and stronger, you need to recover. Now, recovery is often overlooked, but it's where the gains are made. It's where the body rebuilds itself and becomes stronger than it was before. Given the task at hand then, and given I'm going to be training harder than I've ever trained before, I need all the help I can get. Several brands have got in touch to suggest things that I could do. So let's see how I can try and maximise my recovery. Starting with this. The Theragun. The Theragun looks like Marvin the Martian's disintegration pistol, but the only thing this bad boy's going to be disintegrating are the knots in my tired limbs. One of the advantages of the Theragun is you can self-administer massages with it. Ideally, I'd be getting daily sports massages while I'm training for this challenge, but unfortunately, that's not possible. So this makes for an alternative. Right, prepare to be disintegrated. Using percussive therapy, it vibrates and pounds your muscles, much like a robot masseuse. The 40 percussions per second have 16 millimeters of travel, helping to improve circulation and blood flow. There are different head attachments, and post-exercise, 2 minutes per muscle group is recommended with the corresponding app, and, well, feels quite good actually. Interestingly, the Theragun is increasingly being used by physiotherapists and masseuses too, and is said to be beneficial in breaking up scar tissue and alleviating joint pain. However, I'm mainly using it for the massage benefits, and if there's one thing pro cyclists swear by for recovery, it's massages. The next thing I'm going to try is a POWERDOT. Now this is an E-stem unit that attaches electrodes to your muscles and then sends an electric current through to stimulate them and supposedly aid recovery. Several top cyclists are said to be using it and swear by it, so I thought I'd try it out for myself. The POWERDOT works with a corresponding smartphone app, and in that you select the muscle group that you want to target, in my case the quads, and then it shows you visually where you should put the pads in order to do that. Then you get to select which kind of program you want, so I've gone for recovery, but there's also things like a massage or a warm-up and things like that as well. Right, I'm going to start it up. I don't know what's going to happen, but using the app you can control the intensity of the electrodes. I'm up to 3 and it's tingling. I'm up to 6 and my legs are really starting to feel it. The idea is that it's able to give temporary pain relief from sore or aching muscles that you've got from exercise, and the electrical stimulation, when effectively combined with regular physical training, is said to significantly improve the performance of those muscles too. It's certainly stimulating my muscles. It feels like I'm having a massage, which is quite strange. But next, I'm going to look at sleep. Sleep is absolutely crucial to recovery. Loads of important processes happen when you're asleep. Your body releases hormones like human growth hormone, which is crucial for rebuilding your body. And insufficient sleep can lead to increased levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and can lead to weight gain. When I said I was willing to try anything, I wasn't lying. This is an altitude tent, and despite my blood oxygen saturation being 89%, no, we're not camping in a field at 3,000 meters above sea level. We're in fact in the urban serenity and convenience of my bedroom. Top endurance athletes reportedly use altitude tents for endurance gains. The theory being that they help your body produce more red blood cells. The more red blood cells you have, the more oxygen that your body can process, the higher your VO2 max, and the bigger your aerobic capacity. The composition of the air is 21% oxygen, 78% nitrogen, and 1% argon. Now, by connecting the tent to a hypoxic generator, the composition of the air can be changed. The generator pumps in air that has a higher proportion of nitrogen, meaning that the oxygen is only around 14%. And the theory behind this is that it forces the body to adapt to what is available. Now, in doing this, the body then starts to produce EPO in the kidneys, EPO being a hormone responsible for making red blood cells. You can basically get fitter just by sleeping. Sounds brilliant, doesn't it? One caveat with this technique though is that not everyone responds to altitude training. You might feel the benefits, or you might be one of those people that doesn't get any physiological response. It might also negatively impact your sleep. However, one skill I do have in abundance is sleep skills. I could sleep for Britain. However, to make sure that my catnaps aren't curtailed and my hibernation isn't hindered, I've literally got a gadget up my sleeve. Now this is a Whoop. You may have seen Cy and J-Pow talking about them and wearing them in videos in the past. And it's a gadget that's specifically designed to monitor your recovery. Now it does so by connecting to an app on your smartphone, and it monitors your sleep, but it also tracks your heart rate and your heart rate variability too. And using special algorithms, it's able to quantify that and give you a score. This is useful as it tells you how recovered you are and able to therefore perform and train. But I also find it really useful in my life because I'm training around a full-time job and other commitments. And sometimes I'll have a busy day at work. I'll be on my feet lots, but I've not actually trained and I feel like I've not done anything. And I'll have a session planned in the evening from Neil and Mac from the Sufferfest, and I'll go home and I'll just feel really tired. But then there's a danger that you can beat yourself up mentally because you tell yourself, well, you shouldn't feel tired because you've not actually done anything today. And that's where the Whoop comes in handy, because it says, actually, you've done a lot today. You've been on your feet a lot and you should feel tired. Don't worry, that's normal. Chill out. And it's nice to have that positive reinforcement. But also it's useful for teaching you how other things affect recovery. So if you drink alcohol, or you don't get enough sleep, or if you spend all day on your feet, or even if you're not hydrated enough, you're not drinking enough water. And it's cool that it makes you accountable by way of a score. It might not work for everyone, but for me it's kind of like a game and I want to beat my score. Interestingly, if you're ill or coming down with a virus, your resting heart rate will usually be higher in the couple of days before. And the Whoop measures it at a specific point in your sleep cycle every night for consistency. And just before I got ill with a virus, last week, my resting heart rate was about 10 beats per minute higher. In addition to my other training, my coaches Neil and Mac from the Sufferfest have been getting me to do some yoga. Now, having never done it before, I wasn't sure why either, but I'm now a convert. It helps me relax, but it's also great for joints and muscles, and key to riding in a really aggressive aerodynamic position is flexibility, and it's great for that too. I find it more mentally stimulating than just stretching, and it pushes me more in terms of flexibility too. But yoga's said to have a whole host of benefits for cyclists, things like improved core strength, decreased injury risk, improved breathing. But to be honest, it just kind of makes me feel good and puts me in a positive mood, and I don't think you can ever underestimate the power of that. Oh God, bloody hell. It's worth bearing in mind that as much as you should look to enhance your recovery, it's not a replacement for training, and you also shouldn't neglect the basics as well. You need to focus on good quality sleep, rest and nutrition above all else. And it's kind of like what I said in a weight loss video as well. You can't out-train a bad diet. The same can be said for recovery. When you finish a workout, getting in protein and carbs is absolutely key to recovery. And while I'm a fan of real food, sports-specific products are great because they're really convenient and they contain the exact right quantities of what you need, backed up by science. It's really important that you replenish your glycogen stores and also take in protein to rebuild muscles. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, and if you have, then please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you'd like to stay updated on my hour record challenge, then there's going to be weekly updates in the GCN Show and also longer form videos like this one every now and then, so make sure you subscribe for those. And if you'd like to see how I've been getting on so far, then you can do by clicking down here, and if you'd like to watch a different video on weight loss, then you can click down here.